Welcome to the first ever episode of Waiting for the O's. I'm Alicia, and I absolutely love the Olympics,
And I'm Savannah, and I love hearing Alicia talk about the Olympics.
which works out well because I talk about them frequently, especially now because I have tickets to the 2028 Olympic Games. Like,
That is
I
so
can't,
cool.
right? I mean, I am just so excited about it. I have wanted to go to the Olympics as long as I can remember. I mean, I was a 5 year old girl sitting in the living room watching the 1984 Olympics with my entire family. It was something that we all kind of came together and watched. And ever since then, like I have been in love with the Olympics. And I've wanted to go. I didn't really, obviously when you're younger, you don't really know how things work. So
Yeah.
when the 96 games were in Atlanta, I remember thinking, like, once they started, I was kind of like, why am I not there? Like, they're just in Georgia. Why am I not in Georgia watching these Olympics? And I kind of thought that it was one of those things that you could just like show up, buy a ticket, and then boom, you're watching the Olympics.
You just pop in the car, drive a few hours, and you're there.
Yeah,
Like going to a movie, right?
exactly, right? I mean, who knew that you buy the tickets 2 years in advance? Like,
Yeah,
because
that's
it is
wild.
2026 right now, and I'm already talking about tickets to the 2028 Olympic Games. Like, it's crazy. So, obviously I started to understand that you have to put some planning, you have to put some work in. But it is something that I've always wanted to do. I try not to regret missing the 96 games because it was I mean I missed it, right? Like there's nothing to it. Like I
You were a
was in
teenager, right?
yeah. Yeah. So
Okay.
that was the summer before my senior year in high school. So I definitely would have needed my parents to really, kind of make that happen. And like I
Help you
said, I
out.
didn't even yeah, like I didn't even think about it until they had already started. But sometimes it does kind of creep up like why didn't I go? I mean, I feel like that would have been amazing because also I don't drink Coke anymore, but I do think that Coca-Cola, now its original flavor, used to be classic, used to just be Coca-Cola, whatever. I do
Lots of
think that that
changes.
is, yeah, yeah, yeah. I do think that that's like the nectar of the gods. I mean, it's delicious, and that's Atlanta is where Coke is made, and so
Oh, I didn't know that.
uh, yeah. So I remember seeing like pictures of people going to the Olympics, and then there was a lot of Coca-Cola stuff there. I mean, obviously, I mean, I think that Coca-Cola is always a big sponsor of the Olympics, no matter where it is. But when it's right in their backyard, I mean, there was stuff everywhere. And in fact, when I was in my senior year at high school, I took like a public speaking class, and we had to put together like a poster board with kind of a collage of things that represented yourself, and there was a picture from the Olympics. Well, first I used multiple pictures from the Atlanta games because I mean I just loved the Olympics so much. So I had the Olympic rings, but there was this one picture that I'll never forget that was of a young girl like hugging like a human sized bottle of Coke. I mean, it wasn't an actual, it was like, like a statue type thing. And I was like, that's what I want to be doing. I want to
That
be
could have
going
been
to the
you.
Olympics. Yeah, I want to be going to the Olympics, and I want to be drinking a lot of Coke and hugging gigantic bottles of Coke and hopefully drinking gigantic bottles of Coke. Because again, as a child, I may have made questionable decisions when it came to my intake of carbonated beverages. And by when I was a child, I also mean up until adulthood. But not anymore. Not anymore.
I cannot say the same. I always diet cola. Like I am a diet Coke slash Diet Pepsi drinker, depending on if it's fountain or the can. But yeah, I totally get it. That would be awesome.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I changed jobs a few months ago, and my last job was super stressful, and I was still drinking, and at that point I had changed to Diet Coke rather than, Coca-Cola original flavor. Um but it was like I would have to like mainline Diet Coke. And so, I mean, every single conference call, I'm like, Diet Coke, Diet Coke, Diet Coke.
My brother is a Diet Coke addict. I get it. I think he drinks like probably like 200 ounces a day. Like it's ridiculous. That's all he drinks.
Yeah, that's how I was. And so I did, I mean, like, I kind of wondered, I'm like, have people picked up on the fact that I'm like drinking so much Diet Coke? They did, because a
Ah,
few of us got together, and all of us work remotely, right? And so a few of us
yeah.
got together for a virtual happy hour not too long ago. And I also don't really drink alcohol anymore. And so they were all like, you don't have to drink, you can drink your Diet Coke. And I was like, I don't drink Diet Coke anymore. And like the entire time they were all like, oh, better get a Diet Coke for Alicia. And I'm like, I'm
Ah,
drinking water. But yeah,
all
so it
right,
was a thing.
everybody. It's fine.
Yeah. So again, the 96 games would have been just like an ultimate dream
Ideal.
with that combo. I'm a little older now, so not having the Coke tie-in is perfectly fine. Because quite frankly, it probably would sway me back to my
Ah,
my old habits, which is not good because I really want to be able to be healthier, and that's kind of what we're going to be talking about in this podcast. We're going to be talking about how I want to be in a better place for the Olympic Games, because you know I've just been thinking about how excited I am to go finally, and I I I I'm not happy with where I am, sort of like weight wise, fitness wise. And so when I started thinking about like going to the Olympics, I'm like, I don't want things to get in the way of my enjoyment.
yeah.
And part of that would be, like there's going to probably be a lot of walking and having to take
Oh yeah.
breaks, and then, pictures and not liking the way that I look in them. I mean, I'm actually in this room. There is a spot on the wall. You can't see it in the video. That is designated for Olympic memorabilia that I will be getting in over 2 years. But it's already the dedicated space, and like I don't want to take pictures and look at every single one and be like, "Ugh, I look
You don't
terrible."
want it
Like I
to taint your
can't.
experience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So it's probably for the best that there is no Coke tie-in, because that would like put me over the edge, and like I said, bring me back to
Go to
my
town on the
not
Coke.
so. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So trying to be healthier and everything, but so first I want to talk about the ticket buying process, if
Oh, cool.
you'll allow me to do so, because
Yes, please
it
do.
was a little, yeah, it was a little bit of an ordeal, and quite frankly, so far they've only had a few rounds, so there's about to be another round of ticket buying, so maybe this will help someone if they watch or listen to this. So again, no question in my mind that I was going to go to the Olympics. So they announced about, I think it was 9 years ago, actually, that they announced that the 2028 games were going to be in Los Angeles. And I was at work when the news broke, and I literally walked down the hall to my manager's office. This was obviously before I worked remotely. And I was like, I'm going to need to put in for vacation, probably about a month off, because, I'm going to go to the Olympics in 2028. And of course, we had a big laugh because this was like, 9 years ago or something.
That
Actually, was it? It was some 9 or 10 years ago.
was a long time ago.
And Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was a long time ago. And so we had a big laugh, but there was just no question. Like, I am going to attend the Olympics because this is something that I have wanted to do forever. And so I kind of tried to learn, everything that I could to prepare for this. But as it started getting closer and closer, I started having questions. The main question was, how am I going to be able to afford this?
Yeah.
It's not cheap. Like, first you have the tickets, which the LA committee has really tried to make the games accessible, and so they've tried to have some lower price point tickets, and in fact they have a lot of $28 tickets.
Oh,
But
nice.
I know, right? And I think
Yeah.
that that's amazing because, quite frankly, to go to the Olympics should be something that everyone can do, right? I mean, everyone
Yeah.
should be able to come together. To me, that's a big part of the Olympics, is this community
Yeah.
that
It's
it
very uniting.
builds. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And so I think that's great. But let's just say that the $28 tickets, well, you're not going to go see women's gymnastics for $28. You know. So yeah, some of the tickets are still very, very pricey. And so as it was getting closer and I was trying to research like how much ticket prices have been in the past so I would kind of know what to expect, I was like, God, the tickets themselves are not cheap. And then, I'm going to have to fly to LA. And let's face it, like, the tickets are going to be like, the prices are just going to be completely surged.
Astronomical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that, and then I got to find a place to stay, which
Lodging. Yeah.
also going to be capped out at their highest rate that they're allowed to charge. Um,
$1 million.
yeah. And I'm probably that probably puts me not staying, across the street from the venue, right?
Yeah.
And so then I'm going to have ground transportation. Like, everything is just so expensive. And so
And
I
LA is
really,
already expensive, so
yeah,
given given the event, it's going to be way more.
exactly. Like, yes, LA is like, if I was just going to say, oh, I'm going to plan a vacation to Los Angeles, like, that's already something that I'm going to have to budget for. It's not like,
Yeah.
it's just something that I can definitely make happen all the time.
Right.
And with all of the, surge pricing, if you will, I was like, I don't really understand how anyone can afford to go to the Olympics unless they are a millionaire. And I
Yeah.
am not a millionaire. Like, I don't know if you know this about me, but that's not part of my bio.
Dang, I
Um,
thought you might have been.
yeah, I think I give off that air,
You're so
super.
close. You're so
Yeah,
close.
yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not. So I started to get, really worried that I wasn't going to be able to make it happen. And it was kind of giving me some anxiety because I've wanted this for so long. But
Yeah.
I kind of, and I know that this is cheesy, and you know what? I don't care because I'm a cheesy
Be
person.
cheesy.
I embrace the cheese. But sometimes I think that things that are meant to happen, right? Like, whatever
Yeah.
needs to make it happen sort of falls into place. And I really feel like that's what was going on here to allow me the opportunity to go to the Olympics, which, now that I'm saying that out loud, I'm like, boy, is that conceited? Do I feel like the world revolves around me?
But here's the thing is there's a little bit of like all of that falling into place, but you did some work to get there.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. That is true. But things were falling into place, which was
A little bit
great.
of both. Yeah.
So the first thing was that, well, obviously the first thing is that they're in the States because that takes out international
Yeah.
travel, so
Yeah.
that's good.
There's that.
Next thing is that, in addition to trying to have, some affordable tickets, The LA committee also decided not to build any new venues, which I really applaud because in the past, what has happened is, countries and cities will build these grand arenas and stadiums,
Mm-hmm.
which are amazing during the Olympics, but then the Olympics end and they don't have anything to fill
Yeah.
that stadium or
Now what?
arena again. Yeah, and so they kind of there are actually some that are literal ruins now. And that's just sad.
Yeah.
So the LA committee was like, we don't want to do that. And that meant that they had to find venues that were suitable for the Olympics. So they start looking, in the LA area to find everything. And there's actually quite a few venues that aren't in LA proper. I mean, that's not surprising at all.
Yeah.
But I guess in that area, there were two sports that the committee was like, we have nothing that works and we must go to a different location. And that was canoe slalom. I
Okay.
think that's one of your favorites, right?
I, I know so much about canoe slalom. So much.
So much. Yeah. I figured. I was like, Savannah is the canoe
I am
slalom
a
expert.
slalomer myself. Generally in a grocery store, but I'm just saying, like, I have some
Yeah.
expertise.
Yeah.
Free
You've
wig,
got
whoo,
the
whoo,
slalom
whoo,
down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, canoe
I,
slalom and softball. Um,
I have thrown a softball too, so
See, like these are right up your alley.
not sure I've ever hit one
Um,
with a bat, but
well, you know what? You're still
there's
young.
time. There's so much time.
Yeah. My a phrase that my dad used to say all the time was, "Well, you can't do it any younger."
But hey, you know what? I'm gonna live by that now.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
Yeah.
So anyway, uh they needed to find venues for canoe slalom and softball. And as luck would have it, apparently Oklahoma City has a premier venue for softball and one for canoe slalom. I mean, I had no idea.
What kind of venue does canoe slalom require? Just water, or
Yeah, I
I mean,
mean,
I'm sure because I know so much about it. It's like a lake with
uh,
buoys in it,
I mean, I
or a
think
river.
I think it's more a river.
Okay, river
Yeah, yeah.
with
I think
big
it's
rocks.
a river. Yeah,
Okay,
we
and then
might need to do
softball.
some.
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna definitely need to look into the slalom of canoes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but softball is a softball stadium.
I feel like that's a little
So
more straightforward.
yeah. And so yeah, they're in Oklahoma City, and so right off the bat, okay, I have to admit, I was like, ooh, Oklahoma City, that's
Okay.
closer. I'm in Texas, and so that makes it drivable. And so now I don't necessarily have to have the flight. Um and so that made it appealing. Part of me still was like, "Oh, but, you know, will that not feel like it's the Olympics?" But then I was like, "No, it's still going to feel like the Olympics
Yeah.
because
Honestly,
it's the
maybe even better.
Olympics."
Yeah. I feel like could be nice. A little smaller
I,
could be nice.
yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I think, be a little easier to navigate.
Yeah.
And let's face it, with just softball. And so, spoiler alert, we haven't gotten there yet, but
Oh, okay.
the tickets that I have are to softball.
Oh, okay. The softball
Um,
ticket. All right.
yeah. And let's face it, just going to one one event or just being around one event, I'm going to be overwhelmed. I
I mean, I've been to a few different baseball stadiums, Dodgers, Angels, and it's pretty overwhelming for just a normal run of the mill Dodger game. The parking, the
Yeah.
getting inside, the big stadiums. I can only imagine how grand it's going to be for, I'm assuming, multiple games with that many people like in and out and all that jazz. So I think you'll still feel the vibe of the Olympics for sure.
Yeah, there's no doubt. There's no doubt. And honestly, I feel like if I did go to LA, I mean, I don't know if I would be able to hold myself together. Like, I mean, just just watching the Olympics on TV, I'm like sobbing almost the
Yeah.
entire time. I mean, literally Olympic ceremonies start and I'm crying. Like, I mean, usually I'm crying at some point, like during the ceremony. If I haven't cried and we get to the where all the like the parade of Olympians, the where all the countries come in and all the athletes come in, for sure, just I just lose it
Waterworks.
every time.
Yeah.
And I mean, then with everything that happens during the Olympics, with the triumphs and the heartbreaks and the close finishes and like the drama of it all. Again,
Oh, yeah.
crying the entire time. You show me a family member in the stands, instant tears. I mean, like I'm crying the whole time. So I can only imagine if I went to Los Angeles like during the Olympics, I,
I
I would
just
be
imagine
crying
you
the whole time.
standing there with one of those movie moments where the world is just sort of spinning around you and you're dazed and you're just like Olympics and this and that and Hollywood Boulevard and all the crazy things. So yeah, I can already see you having that moment.
Yeah, I can also
Yeah.
see me ending up like in the fetal position. Like it's too much.
That too.
So,
That too.
too many emotions. I can't take it.
Emotions, people, all the things.
So yeah. So now we're talking I can drive to Oklahoma City. I'm not going to be as overwhelmed.
You'll have a
Everything's
car
going
so you
well.
won't have to worry about transportation.
Yeah, yeah. And then here's the like really sort of weird thing, but also amazing thing is just a few short years ago, one of my very good friends, Andrea, moved to the Oklahoma City area.
Oh,
Like out of
nice.
yeah, out of everywhere in the world, she ends up in Oklahoma City, and then now there's two Olympic events that are going to be right there. And so, of course, she was like, "You can totally stay with me." So now
Yeah,
I
it
don't even
fell
have
into
to pay for
place.
yeah, I don't even have to pay for lodging. Like everything was starting it was just all lining up.
Yeah.
And then the final piece came into play. And that was that they announced that there would be locals only pre-sales. So once again, I go to my very good friend Andrea and I
Good old
say,
Andrea.
"Will you please put your name in the hat for the locals only pre-sale?" Because again, it's lottery based. So I'm at, like she has to still win a spot.
Oh, yeah.
Um you're not
She
guaranteed.
entering for the opportunity to possibly buy tickets.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because yeah, you could get in. You even if you get a spot, you're still not guaranteed a ticket
Yeah.
because the tickets could be sold out or
That's like
again, you
just to
could be
get in
priced
line.
out.
Yeah.
Exactly. So because Andrea is the best person on earth, she said yes. Because here's the other kicker.
Okay.
The rule, because of course I did my research and I was like, "Ooh, what is this?" Because the thing is that Andrea is not actually going to the Olympics with me.
Okay.
My very good friend Irma, who also loves the Olympics. This is something that she and I have bonded over since we were in college. we're the two that are going to the Olympics, and we're just happening to, stay with Andrea and use her for all of this good stuff.
Lovely host.
Yes, exactly. So the rule was, if you put your name in, the way that they sort of made sure that it was valid
Mm-hmm.
was your payment method had to have the zip code that you were entering. So it had to have the local zip code. So that meant that Andrea had to pay for our tickets as well. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Well,
we
yeah, yeah,
paid
yeah,
her
yeah.
back, but
But
still
she still had
that's,
to make that initial investment up front.
yeah, like, I mean, that requires some trust.
And a
But
good
fortunately,
friendship.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And she's just a good person, like, obviously. So,
Obviously.
yes, she agreed to do it. So she put her name in, and she actually got a slot on day 2. So, I mean, I was
Oh,
stoked. Obviously, day 1 would have been
hell
like,
yeah.
really the stars aligned. But hey, I'll take day 2.
Day one, you
So
could have got
our
canoe slalom.
well, I have to admit, I don't even know if canoe slalom was available or not because I didn't even
Oh,
look at it.
you wanted softball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is softball, I mean, Team USA is a softball powerhouse.
Yeah.
From what I can remember of canoe slalom, Team USA is not such a powerhouse.
We're working on it.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
I'm going to cheer for any. First off, I mean, I love all Olympians, but I am very heavily favoring Team USA because that's
Yeah.
that's that's my team.
Yeah.
Um, but so that's kind of fun to be able to go to an event where we should be like kicking some butt,
Yeah.
right?
Up there. Yeah.
Yeah. Which also meant that in my mind, they're going to be playing for the gold medal. And so that became kind of our goal, was we were going to get tickets to the gold medal game and then hopefully also the bronze medal game. And then, I mean, 2 medal events at the Olympics. Like, that was the
That's
goal.
cool.
Yeah. And so we had our time zone. It was a noon start time
Are
for
you in
day
the
2.
same time zone as Andrea?
Yeah, we're all in Central.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So, the 3 of us, Andrea, me, and Irma, all got on a conference call a little before noon, and I had done all the research. They had videos online to kind of show you how to navigate the site. They also had a whole like schedule of events with like every single event, and each event had a code. So you could put that code into the search bar and go directly to it. So I
That's
had the
cool.
codes for those 2 metal games all ready to go. And so, we had a plan in place, right? This also kind of helped. I had been researching, I mentioned earlier, I had been researching ticket prices, and then the videos, even though it was, not live, obviously, because nothing had gone on sale, but they actually had, it looked like the site was live in there. So you could see different, ticket prices. So I kind of went in knowing that, well, at least in my mind, I figured that the tickets would be around 500 a piece. But I was not going to be surprised if it went up to 1,000. Softball is a bit of a wild card because it used to be in the Olympics and then it was dropped, and so 2028 is going to be the first time that it's coming back.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I know.
I
Another
choose
super cool
softball too.
thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But it meant that I didn't really have any recent games for a reference point for ticket prices. So I'm kind of like
Oh yeah.
guessing, you know. But so I kind of went in, and Irma and I went in with the idea that we were probably going to spend 500. We were hoping for 500, but knowing that it could be more. And just to put it into perspective, because once we actually got the tickets, and I'm going to get to that because it was stressful.
I bet.
But once we had our tickets procured, we poked around to look at other ticket prices. And like, I mean, I think the opening ceremonies was like $5,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, the opening
I
ceremony is super cool. Like that's one of my favorite parts to watch. I don't watch all of the Olympics, but I like get clips in here and there, but I do enjoy that a lot. So I mean, that's a lot, but also I get it.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. Like I'm
Yeah.
like, woohoo, that is
Yeah.
pricey, but also I get it
But go
and
ahead and
it's worth it.
stream that one. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's one that I'll catch online. Um, or honestly, uh, I'm still in the mix to possibly be a volunteer.
Oh,
Um,
yeah. That'd be cool. In LA? Or
possibly.
like I don't know how that works. Would you like boop, 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 like
Well, yeah. So they are having some like, I don't want to call them conference calls, but that is what they are. I guess. And so I'm actually gonna join one on Saturday to learn more. And uh, because what I need to know, 'cause I do know in some cases, like they have lodging for the volunteers and
oh, oh
all
yeah, I
that.
guess that's important, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, but my main question at this point is, if I have tickets, will you work around that? Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. You have to apply, and apparently it's extremely competitive to get a
Yeah, I
spot.
bet.
Um,
Yeah.
so we'll see. I'm
Yeah.
trying to go all out for these because I'm like, you know what? Again, I don't know how many chances I'll have in the future to do things like this.
I mean, this
So,
is kind of once in a lifetime, maybe twice if you're lucky and or rich, But as we
yeah,
established earlier, not a millionaire. So,
yeah,
might as well. And the next time that they're in the states is going to be we're going to be old, like old, you know what I mean?
yeah, like
So,
super old.
yeah, I go out. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm trying to do everything. We'll see how it goes. But
Yeah.
anyway, so yeah, the opening ceremonies were like a little over 5,000, I
Oh,
think. And then like women's gymnastics. And I'm talking like well, I couldn't even see prices for like the medal rounds because those were already gone. So even like the prelims for women's gymnastics, it was in the thousands.
whew.
Yeah. So, you know, we're going in and I'm like, okay, this is what we're hoping for is the 500. I will say we did not get the 500. At least
I,
for the gold medal match.
you got the $28 tickets, obviously.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's what we got. No, there were no $28
uh,
tickets for either medal match.
I do
Um
like how they did $28 tickets for the 28 Olympics. That's fun.
yeah. Yeah, so,
Yeah.
yeah, I enjoy that as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're not available for everything. I have a feeling
Right.
that no medal events have the $28
I mean,
tickets.
yeah, that makes sense.
Well, I guess maybe like the marathon, I could see there being some $28 tickets, and since that's only one marathon, you don't. It's not like they're making you. "Hey, let's do a preliminary marathon to see where
Yeah.
your starting spot is. So that probably I could see some $28 tickets, but I think most medal events, no, the $28
Yeah.
are not part of the package. Um, anyway, so day of, the three of us, we make a plan to hop on a conference call because none of us live in the same city. Um, and as luck would have it, Andrea was back in her hometown helping set up for one of her niece's like high school graduation parties. And by set up, I actually mean they were building things, like
Oh,
building a backdrop for pictures and I don't
cool.
know. It was a lot of manual labor that was
Yeah.
going on. And
Not just
so
setting out some napkins.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like the
Yeah.
party wasn't that weekend, but that's how extensive this setup was, which I think is awesome.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm big into, having some big parties and celebrating things. So, but what it meant was Andrea had to book a room at the public library so she would be able to sneak away and have Wi-Fi to be able to get on this conference call and to be able to help us get these tickets. So she did it, and so she's at the library, and I'm at my house. Irma had to time. She and her family were going to visit family in a different city. And so she was like, "Well, guys, we have to time it around this ticket buying window. So we got to get up early so that we can get there. And once we're there, no one can bother me because I've got to get these tickets." And fortunately, her family was supportive of that.
That's good.
Um, so like we all had things going on, right?
Yeah.
But so we get on this conference call and we're ready. I've got the codes, we're good to go. Noon hits. Andrea goes to log in and she gets an error.
Oh
And
no.
I had seen the good thing about being day two, or maybe bad thing, I don't know, is that you get to see how day one goes. And let's just say day one, people had a lot of opinions, and a lot of what they were talking about were login issues, and just not a great experience with the site, and things like that. So I knew that that was a possibility, and so I'm like, it's okay, like,
It's fine.
we can do this. And so I was trying to remain like this cool, calm, and collected. Now on the inside I was like, "What do you mean you got an error? Like, and why are you just saying it? Try it again. Like, don't waste any time." But on the outside, I was like, "It's fine. It's fine. Let's just
Fine.
refresh."
Everything's fine. It's fine.
Exactly. So, she got the error a couple more times. And so then I was like, "Well, we don't know how good the internet is at this
I
library
guess
and
the
stuff."
library.
Yeah. And so I was like, "You know what? Why don't you send me your login information and I will try." Which she was overjoyed with that suggestion, because she was like, you want me to search for this code, and
She's now
she's
the
like,
facilitator of your experience, so I'm sure she was
yeah,
like, "Yes, please."
yeah, she's like, "Alicia, I know how you feel about the Olympics, and now it's like my responsibility to ensure
Pressure's
that
on.
you get to go." So yeah. She sent me the info. I tried. I got the error once as well, but then I tried again, and on that second try, I got in.
Nice.
But when you get in, it's similar. I mean, if you've bought concert tickets recently, anything like that, you know how you kind of you get into that like lobby.
Yeah.
Um, and so we log in and we're in the lobby, which I'm like, seriously, a lobby when we had to, it was a lottery to just get a slot. And then we had a specific time just for, I mean, well, not just for us, obviously, for the entire
Oh
group
yeah.
that got day two. But I'm like, what, you know, why is there
There keeps
even a
being
lobby?
stops. Yeah.
And so it felt like we were in that lobby forever. I don't even think it was a full minute that we were in the
Ah.
lobby. But it felt very like I was just like, "Oh my gosh, come on, come on, come on." But no, we got in. And so immediately, like, I go and I'm searching for the code, and gold medal game was like the number one priority. So I search for that. I get it. Well, there were four tiers of ticket prices. The two least expensive, gone,
Yeah.
sold out. And I'm like, this is day two of the pre-sale. Like, come on. Now, I do think that they may have only released like a certain percentage of the tickets in each level
That would
for
make sense.
each
Yeah.
day. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I do think that that's what was happening. But at least for us, those were gone. And so we decided to go for well, the least expensive that was available. So I grabbed two tickets and I'm like, trucking. And then I was like, oh, I had this whole plan of getting a ticket for Andrea for the gold medal game as a thank you for doing all of this and for hosting us when we go. And I'm like, oh my God, I totally forgot. And I probably, I might have been able to add a ticket, but of course you're thinking, no, the tickets you have to put them all at the
Clump.
same time to get them
Yeah.
together. I didn't realize this at the time. A lot of this was kind of like, well, again, I'm sort of like in this, like, just got to get the tickets.
Zoom.
And,
Yeah.
so I may not have been as detail oriented as I sometimes can be. But, what I didn't realize at the time is that there were no like actual seat assignments. So
Oh.
it could have been like a thing where I could have added, but I didn't know and I didn't want to take that chance. So of course I released the two tickets that I had gotten and then immediately go back to grab three. Well, it did not work. And unbeknownst to me, there were two different reasons preventing it from working. The first reason is because as soon as I let those go, someone else snatched them up, and that price point
They're
sold out.
mine. Oh no.
Yeah, gone. And I mean, like, my stomach just like dropped, and I was like, "Oh, what have I done?"
After all
And I'm like,
that.
yeah, but I was like, it's fine. I'm still going to get the three tickets and it might just be a little bit more, but hey, but then it still didn't work. And that's because there was a maximum of two tickets for softball. Most other sports had a higher maximum. That was something that was clear in the videos that I had watched. What was unclear was that there were certain sports with a lower threshold. And on like during that ticket buying process, it was not very apparent that there was a maximum of two tickets. And
It's
that
really
is
interesting for softball to be two. I feel like more people, like, it's almost like, I don't know, more family or friend groupy.
well, yeah, that is something that is unfortunate because it feels like it could be, a family friendly
Could
thing
be
and you're
because it
going as a group.
was Oklahoma City to just give more people the opportunity to.
Well, and like it's the only sport. I mean, there's canoe slalom, but they don't actually
Yeah.
overlap. So canoe slalom is the first half of the Olympics, and it's literally like there's the medal event for canoe slalom, and then the very next day is when the softball prelims
Oh,
start.
okay.
So the only thing going on is softball in
That makes
Oklahoma City
yeah.
during that time. And so that means of course there's only the one stadium and so I think that they did that to try to allow more people to
Yeah.
get in. And so I get it, but at the same time it was disappointing. And also I still think that that is something that should have been like in
Very
bold.
clear. Yeah.
Yeah, like we should have known that. So now all of a sudden I realize that not only did I like lose those tickets that we had in our cart, I literally lost them for no reason because I could only get two tickets. So, I mean, I was like, I am just a failure. But I again think that things work out the way that they should, and I have to admit I was not upset at all because that meant that the only price point were the best of the best tickets, and we are talking about
I
an
mean,
Olympic gold medal game.
of course you want the best of the best, but
Thank
if
you.
it's forced on me, if I have to, you
Yeah.
know, yeah,
So the most expensive ones were still available. We were able to get two, get them in the cart,
nice.
and then which those were above the $500 price point. But they weren't 1,000. So my estimation going in was spot on, and I felt good about that. And then to kind of like even things out, when we got the bronze medal, because we actually did also get tickets to the bronze medal game, we went for a lower price point, and so
Oh,
that
nice.
kind of evened it out a little bit. But the end result is that we did get tickets to the bronze medal game, which is on a Friday, and then the Saturday is the gold medal game. And I fully expect Team USA to be playing for the gold, but you know what?
Heck yeah.
Anything can happen. If they go for the
Oh yeah.
bronze, we'll be right there too. So I mean, it was a lot. It was a
Yeah.
lot. Um,
So did Andrea, after all of this was said and done, feel like, okay, we're good? You got your tickets, and she went back to building, or
yeah, yeah. I mean, well, and I think that she might have hoped that it would have lasted longer to have a little bit more of a break. No, I'm
yeah,
kidding. I'm kidding. But yeah, so for her, it was like, great, we did this. And again, because she is like the best human, she didn't even care at all that, because I had already told her, like, I'm going to get you a ticket to the gold medal game and you're going
yeah,
to come with us. And when that didn't work out, she immediately was just like, just get your tickets. Like, I don't need to
yeah,
go. Like, let's get your tickets, because I mean, she knows how I feel about the Olympics. And
yeah.
so yeah, she got to go back to building. We all hopped off the conference call. I have to admit, as soon as the call ended, I mean, like the tears, because I was just like I am
Now,
going to the Olympics.
was that your first Olympic cry, or were there tears before that moment? Were there tears that you got the time slot, or was that like your official first cry?
That's a good question. Did I cry when we got the time slot? I might have,
There's probably at least
but
a little tear.
yeah, I may have. Yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely didn't like have like a good cry over it, but and I know that
Single
I
tear.
yeah, I was extremely excited, and I probably my eyes at least teared up.
Yeah.
But with this, they
Well,
were
you were
falling.
locked in now. Yeah. Now
Yeah,
confirmed.
like it was
Yeah.
happening, like it was a thing.
Yeah.
And then Irma called me a few minutes later, and she was like, "Oh my god!" Like as soon as we hung up, like broke down sobbing, and I was like, "Me too." And but it was a little
You
bit of a
guys are just
difference
gonna
in
be crying the whole time together.
the whole
Don't forget
time.
your
The whole time.
tissues.
Yeah,
Uh,
we're just gonna. Well, I do plan on packing handkerchief, so
oh, nice.
you know, if
Classy.
it comes in handy, because you can use that for the tears, and then also the
Yes.
sweat off your brow,
Because it will likely be
because
quite warm.
yeah, it is going to be hot.
Yeah.
Like it is going to be hot. We are talking late July.
Whew.
I think the tickets are for the 28th and 29th of July in Oklahoma City. And I mean, we're going to be melting. And that
Is
again brings, go ahead.
is Oklahoma City hot and humid? Is I don't remember.
Yeah, yeah, it's hot and humid. It's probably not as humid as where I live, because
Okay.
I'm close to the Texas coast. But I do think that obviously there's water if there's canoe slalom
Oh
out
yeah,
there.
yeah. So sweating will be had, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I sweat all the time. I mean, so
It's like
being
60
out
degrees.
in the
Yeah.
elements, like, yeah. But
Yeah.
and it's going to get to a point where people are going to be like, are those tears or is it sweat? And I'm going
Just
to be
gonna
like,
mix.
it's both. Like,
Yeah.
sorry, I'm a soggy mess for multiple reasons.
Right.
That's going to be what's happening. Um, but that also, again, brings me back to what I was talking about in not wanting to have something take away from this excitement.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I am excited,
Stoked.
you know? And when I think about trying to move around with the amount of weight that I'm carrying right now in that heat, it just
Ugh.
doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't. So I kind of took this as an opportunity. I'm like, you know what? I am going to do something that I've always wanted to do, and I want to make it the best possible experience. If I can't find motivation in this, then what can I find motivation in? And
Yeah.
so what I want to do is I want to just be healthier in general. But one goal that I am setting is I want to lose 50 pounds before I go to the 2028 games. That will actually put me back to my 96 Atlanta games weight. Not that I was there, but I do, because it was my senior year in high school. I do remember how much I weighed. So that's
It
also a
brings
nice
us
little
back
tie-in.
full circle.
Full circle. And I know that some people are going to hear 50 pounds and realize that we're talking about 50 pounds over 2 years. And they're going to think, oh, come on. That's like, that's nothing. You could do way more over 2 years.
If you're a
But
25-year-old dude, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And so to me, 50 pounds is a lot. It's also getting me down to my high school weight, which is
Yeah.
crazy to think about because let's just say it has been some time. Well, obviously that we're talking about 96. So, yeah, it's been a few years since I
Just a
weighed
couple.
that. Um, but then I also, well, there's the losing of the weight, but then there's also the keeping the weight off. I
The
mean,
hardest part.
exactly. I am
Yeah.
a notorious yo-yoer.
Me too.
Um, and so I'm wanting to have a realistic view of what's possible, and what makes the most sense for me. And I also don't want to, find some sort of like quick weight loss thing and then lose it and then likely yo-yo back up. But I want to change my life.
Right.
And that means that it's going to be a slow weight loss. And I am okay with that. Although that is going to be a struggle. It already has been a struggle. Um, I have been already, working on this pretty much since I got the tickets. That's when I was like, I'm doing this. Um, and it took almost 2 months exactly for me to lose 1 pound. And that was hard, even though I'm trying to say I want to lose it slowly.
Yeah.
Um, but it makes it hard to, I guess, know that you're on the right track.
Yeah. The scale is a tool and it helps you know that you're doing the right thing, and sometimes it moves and sometimes it doesn't. Other tools are obviously your clothes will fit different, you'll feel different, but all of those things combined help you know that you're on the right track. And when it moves slowly, because it's so gradual, it's hard to see sometimes.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so, I mean, like I said, I'm okay with it. That's the idea, but I also know that it's gonna be something that I struggle with, and
Yeah.
I'm hoping that I can continue to embrace this idea. The other thing is when I say like I want to do this in a way that like in a good way, in a way that makes sense, the right way, quote unquote right way. um, I've realized that over time, what I view as the right way has changed. And
Yeah.
so where I am right now is the understanding that I don't want to be miserable. I'm also talking about a long term goal. Whereas before, when I have lost weight, um, it's always been like, I mean, of course, the idea is always to lose it and keep it off forever.
Well, yeah.
But that, yeah, that
No
just
one's like,
never
I
seems
can't
to
wait to
happen.
gain 50 pounds.
Yeah, I wish that was my life because that's the easy part.
Yeah.
Um, but uh, but with this, I think it's nice that I have a goal that
Yeah.
is 2 years away. So it is that kind of helps me with the long term aspect of it and keeping it off. But it also helps me realize that I there's no like if I did pick a fad diet, there's no way I would be able to sustain that for two
Yeah.
years, you know? And so I want to find meaningful changes that I can make in my life that I will hopefully keep forever, not just for the next 2 years, but
Yeah.
keep it going forever. Um, and not be miserable,
Yeah.
So, like, I'm still gonna eat ice cream. I love ice cream. I don't want a life that doesn't involve ice cream.
Right.
Now
I
the
also love
change,
ice cream. I get it.
right? And you know what? Bluebell. So, if anyone doesn't know, Bluebell is an ice cream brand out of Texas, and it is delicious. They just came out with another new flavor today.
What's the flavor?
Chocolate lava cake.
Sounds delicious. I live in California, lived in Texas for a while. Sweet cream ice cream. Not a thing here. That's my favorite flavor. The only place you can find it as at a Cold Stone. I don't have one of those. Literally no one has sweet cream ice cream. So,
Oh,
I long for this ice cream. I understand. I'm not going to give ice cream up for the rest of my life because if I meet a sweet cream, I'm going to have it.
right. Yeah. When you
Yeah.
find a Cold Stone, you're gonna get that sweet cream. I wonder if
Yeah.
Cold Stone ships.
I mean, I have some like I could drive out of town to, but I mean, I love ice cream, but I don't know if I love ice cream enough to drive 2 hours to get it. But
Yeah.
if it's there, I'm having me some sweet cream.
Yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so I can tell you right now, I'm gonna try that new Bluebell flavor.
Yeah,
I already
chocolate lava cake.
yeah, I texted my mom and I was like, "Did you see the new flavor?" And I told her what it was, and she was like, "I'll go to the store in the morning."
Uh,
So that's gonna happen. Now,
yeah.
do I need to eat ice cream as often as I have in the past? No. Do I need to eat as much in one sitting as I have in the past? No. So those are the changes that I can make. But
Yeah.
again, I think in order for me to stick with it long term, I have to be realistic. Now, I've even gotten to a point, where I've been questioning sort of everything through this, and I'm like, do skinny people just not like food that tastes good? Like, is it really just that I eat horribly?
So here's the thing. I think there is truth to the whole calories in, calories out, but there's so many other factors. There's genetics, there's metabolism, there's science. I'm not a scientist. I'm not going to go into it. Maybe we will at some point. But my brother and I, he got the skinny gene and I did not. This boy, he's a man. He's older than I am. He eats he's a snacker. He snacks so much. And he actually is someone his entire life struggled to gain weight. He's always been a skinnier guy. I've always been a not so skinny girl. We eat vastly different. I would say that I eat on the like less and healthier side. He could eat a bag of chips, three cheese. He sent me a photo of a cheeseburger made on pizza the other day. So it was like two. pieces of pizza with a cheeseburger in the middle.
Wow.
He's still thin, and I am not. And our genetics, we share. We'd have different biological fathers, so we've got a little bit of different genetics there, and we just are different. Part of it is probably because he's a dude and I am not, but there are so many number of different factors. And he likes to eat, but he is a thin man, and
Eh,
I can't keep up.
man, that's the life right there. Now, we can't just glide past this pizza burger thing that you talked about. Was this something that he invented, or what, or did he find this at a restaurant?
No, he made it homemade. I'm not sure if it was like inspired by like a video, but I it's like those like thinner Tostinos pizzas, I think they're called, or Tony's or something like that. They're like a thinner pizza, two of them, faced inward, crust out, with a cheeseburger in the middle.
Hmm. Hmm. I gotta say,
And
it seems a little out there, but in my mind, it really works.
he said it was delicious. I'm I'm a little weird when it comes to like fusions. So
Hmm.
I like
Hmm.
pizza and I like cheeseburgers, but do I like cheeseburger pizzas or pizza burgers? I'm not sure. I'd give it a try.
Well, and I tend to get hamburger meat on my pizza. Like that is one of my
Yeah, that's
go-to
true.
toppings. Now, I there are places that make like a cheeseburger pizza that have
Which
the
I've had is actually
hamburger,
pretty good. Yeah.
but then like sometimes they'll have like instead of the marinara, they have like ketchup and mustard and then like also lettuce and I'm like, "No.
And
That's
that's where you get me. I'm like, I don't know.
yeah, I don't need that." Now, in like transparency, I don't get mustard or ketchup on my burgers. So that
What do you put a condiment on your burger?
mayonnaise.
I do. I do. I do mayo and mustard. I like the combination.
I know some people are like adamantly against mayo, and I just don't get it because I think it's
Oh
delightful.
no. The moisture factor. I'm pretty adamantly against ketchup on a burger. Actually, if it comes with it, I'll eat it, but I am not putting it on there myself.
Yeah, yeah. I, I mean, the sourdough Jack from Jack in the Box has ketchup, and I know that
Yeah.
because I've eaten a few in my day. Um, and I kind of got to where I used to order it without, and then
Yeah.
this will highlight the level of lazy that I am. I finally was, oh, it's just too much to say no ketchup, and I already it also has tomatoes, so I was already saying like no tomatoes, and so now I'm just like no tomatoes. I'll deal with the ketchup. It's
You got to
fine.
start ordering through the app. You just X.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
I
That's
will
true.
say, now since we're on the burger train, um, the only sauce that I'll like nix from my burger is I'm not a big fan of like the secret or Thousand Island dressings.
Mm-mm.
So like In and Out, that's their standard sauce. Big Macs, that's their standard sauce. I'm like, just give it to me dry. I'm good with just like
Yeah.
no sauce. Yeah.
Well, and I haven't had In and Out in a very long time. Um,
Yeah.
because it was before it came to Texas. I went to California for work and I had heard about In and Out. And so I went to In and Out. I was like, I got to try this whole In and Out thing. But then, like, yeah, they did. I was like, no, I don't want any of that. So I wasn't a fan and I haven't had it since. And that was probably, I mean, that was at this point, that was probably 20 years ago. And my brother just had In and Out because I guess one opened near where he lives outside of Houston. And so he was like, all right, I got to try this In and Out. And I didn't remember this. I remembered that they had the kind of special sauce. But so he ordered it without. But then he was like, but I want mayonnaise. And they were like, we don't even have
They don't
mayonnaise.
have mayo.
No, they don't have it.
They have mustard, but I don't like mustard without mayo. I could do mayo without mustard, but I
Hmm,
can't do mustard without mayo.
interesting.
Yeah. If they brought mayo, like just a mayo packet, I think it'd be so good. I'm just saying, in and out. I will say, unpopular opinion for a Californian, but it's okay. Like, it's the fries are like meh. The burger itself, meh. The price is consistent. I love that. They don't go crazy up. And I would recommend always get it mustard fried. They put mustard on it, grill it, add pickles. Love that. But it's not my first go-to burger place because there's no mayo.
Yeah, yeah, that's a big miss. But I think don't they sort of advertise as kind of being a healthy burger type option?
I think it's more that they're fresh. Like it's
Well,
like
because
because they only have burgers and fries. Like they don't. You could get a single, a double, a triple, but there's no other menu items.
right. No, I don't
Yeah.
mean like a health food place, but I think don't they?
Oh,
I think they use, I don't know, is it peanut oil that they use for their fries instead of whatever normal
oh,
places use?
probably yeah.
I don't
Canola
know,
or whatever.
but
It's all fried to me. Yeah.
yeah. I feel like so I could see them being anti mayo, but hey,
Great Diet
you
Coke
might.
though.
Oh, interesting. I
Yeah.
mean, but it can't compete with McDonald's. McDonald's has like the best Coke formula.
It's close. It's pretty close.
Like McDonald's has patented their
I
Coke
know.
formula.
Theirs is better. I will say theirs is better,
Yeah,
but In-N-Out's pretty close. Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, I mean, I think that maybe by this conversation, everyone can tell why I'm carrying a little extra weight.
I don't know what you're talking about, Alicia.
I mean, we could continue down this rabbit hole for a while, like, and start
I think
ranking burgers.
the I just had the most passionate conversation I've had in a while, and it was about a cheeseburger. So,
I mean, if you're gonna be passionate, it should be about cheeseburger.
that's not even my favorite fast food. That's like on the lower end.
I
We
am
won't go
so
into that.
tempted to ask you what your favorite fast food is. But this is what we're trying to avoid. We are trying to limit our intake of the fast food and eat healthier. And for
My favorite fast food is salad.
there you go. Yes, those fast food salad places that comes in a cup for
Love
you to
it.
shake it. Delicious. No, but I will say very quickly, here in Texas, there is a
Yeah.
burger place called P. Terry,
Uh-huh.
and they will do, and I'm sure other places do this too, but P. Terry's does it extremely well. Where you can say no bun, make it a lettuce wrap, and
Okay.
that is a very nice option. And they do
Yeah.
it really well. So,
That's good.
I mean, I'm sure the patty probably still has lots of,
But here's the thing, right? Coming back to our trying to make healthy lifestyle changes that are sustainable, you're still going to want the cheeseburger. And sometimes you'll want the whole cheeseburger with the bun and the mayo and the things. But sometimes you might opt for the lettuce wrap or the single patty or for the double or whatever it is. So it's good to know that there are those options out there.
yeah, exactly.
You don't have to
Exactly.
have a pizza crust bun. Like, you can just have the meat.
I do kind of want to try that, though.
I think
it
Yeah.
reminds me years ago, KFC came out with this like
I know what you're
chicken
talking about.
like where instead of a bun, it was two chicken breasts.
2 fried chickens. Yeah, breasts.
Yeah, I
You brought
tried
up
it.
KFC, so I have to say they're they're testing sorry. They're testing out country fried steak, and I did try it yesterday.
Was it good?
It I'm not really a big like chicken fried steak kind of girly, but 6 out of 10. I it was $5. You got the chicken with the gravy and the mashed potatoes, gravy, coleslaw, biscuit. You can't
Hey.
beat that for $5.
You can't.
Maybe not the healthiest option though.
No, it might not have been, but like you said, sometimes, and I will say
Moderation.
this: I did try that weird chicken sandwich back in the day.
How was it?
Uh,
I never tried it.
it it was not good,
It doesn't sound
and
good.
which I was actually extremely pleased that it wasn't. I didn't. I just it was just too much, like
Yeah.
too maybe too much like oil, because the bread, I think,
The
kind of,
fried and the fried and the fried.
combats
Yeah.
that. Yeah. um I full on went in thinking that I was going to love it, and I was like, this is dangerous. This is a bad idea for me to even try it, but a coworker and I thought that it would be hilarious to go try this chicken sandwich. And so, I mean, I ate the whole thing, don't get me wrong, but I never felt the need to go and order it again, which I think
Yeah.
was the best case scenario. So,
I feel like
we're good
a
there.
lot of people felt that way because it's not there anymore. So
True. I
they're
mean,
they're yeah, too much of a good thing. Yeah.
too much for sure.
Yeah.
Just too much. Just too much. Um okay, so really quickly I want to talk about let's get back to what we're talking about. So this
Yeah.
podcast is called Waiting for the O's, and I want to address that. Um I mean, obviously we're talking about the Olympics, and that's going to be sort of, part of what we talk about going forward in future episodes. Is we're going to highlight different female Olympians, and then we'll continue talking about the weight loss. So the waiting part hopefully makes sense. I didn't We didn't misspell that. That was on her, pun intended.
I didn't.
But why it's waiting for the O's instead of waiting for the Olympics, I just want everyone to know, is that, I'm a rule follower. Just like I made sure that Andrea and her payment method had the same zip code and followed all the rules. Turns out the IOC is quite litigious when it comes to people using the term Olympics. And so we can't call it waiting for the Olympics. We have to call it something else. And so I came up with the idea of waiting for the O's. And of course, the five O's represent each of the Olympic rings. But that's what that is about. And then I kind of like to say that there are three O's that we don't have to wait for. Three of the O's are already happening. And that is the fact that I'm old. So
Check.
yep, that one's here. I'm 47 years old, and all my life I've heard how much harder it is to lose weight the older that you get. And I got to tell you, I feel like, I don't think it was 45. I think it was 46 was like my breaking point of, like, 45. I still felt very youthful. And then all of a sudden it was like, I am ancient. I mean, and I got to tell you, I've lost weight before, and the weight, when I really was like, I'm going to focus on losing weight, making changes and everything. The I was pretty good at losing weight. Um, I already said, it took me almost 2 months exactly to lose 1 pound in this go round. So I am finding it painfully true that the older you get, the harder it is to lose weight. So that's one O that we don't have to wait for, is the fact that I am old. The second one is that I'm overweight. I mean, there's just no way around it. I am overweight. I have battled with my weight. My Really, it's actually kind of sad, because I'm gonna say my entire life, and that's true. And obviously, when you're in the moment, you have certain feelings and certain views. Um, as you move past that and you look back, sometimes those views change. So
Mhm.
when I was young, I felt like I was like just horribly overweight. But looking back, I wasn't. I mean, did I carry some extra pounds? Yeah, I did. But the bigger thing is that I wasn't shaped like the other girls. I was actually very muscular. And somehow back then, and quite frankly, even still to this day,
Still today,
it,
yeah.
yeah, for whatever reason, the muscular build was somehow equating fat. And so I had a lot of external forces telling me that I was fat. And
We
I
had
mean,
Barbie and, the Flintstones and all these very tiny petite women, which were fiction, but that's what we sort of grew up sort of idolizing as like the female form, are these tiny little bony bodies against these very large men. And for both, that's just not realistic for everybody.
yeah, exactly. And so because I didn't look like the other girls and because of these, really unrealistic ideals that you mentioned, it made me fully buy into this idea that I was fat. So this is something that I've been dealing with my entire life. And again,
Me
I
too.
can admit that I am overweight, and I also remember I kind of got to a point where I was like, well, I'm already fat, so I may as well just give up and just
Yeah.
be fat. And that's when I really started gaining more weight and actually living out what I said that I was going to do. And so that's something where if I could go back in time to tell my younger self anything, that would be the thing that I would tell myself is,
Yeah.
you're not actually fat. Like, yeah, you could stand to lose a couple pounds, you could stand to be healthier for sure. You could stand not to be addicted to Coca-Cola. Um, but you're not that bad. Like, look at yourself with an actual, an outside view. I wish I
Yeah.
could tell myself that. So
Hindsight
so
is
yes,
truly 2020.
exactly. So I'm overweight. And then the third O that we don't have to wait for is out of shape. I am very out of shape. Um, like very out of
I
shape.
mean, I'm not sure I've ever been in shape, so I'm right there with you.
And see, when I was young, so I used to play a lot of sports. Like, I mean, I
You were an
just
athlete.
played. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I started playing soccer, and I think I was still in preschool. Like, as soon, like, whatever the minimum age for soccer is, like, that's when I got signed up for soccer. And then the YMCA had basketball, and I played basketball. And then when I got to middle school, that's when like actual school sports started. And so um, back then, we basically had, at least in middle school, we really only had volleyball, basketball, and track. I did all three. And I continued with all three throughout high school and college. I even played rugby. I mean, like I was a sporty kid, and I and
Yeah.
and I was good at the sports too. Like it wasn't something where, I was the fat kid who was sitting on the bench. Like
Yeah.
no, I was actually pretty
You were
darn
in
fit
it.
back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was really strong. Um, and so this is one that I struggle with because I can remember what I used to be able to do, and one thing that has plagued me like pretty much all my adult life is anytime I try, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get back into it. I'm gonna go to the gym or whatever, is I think, oh yeah, I can do this amount of weight. And so I'll do it. And the thing is that I will make it through the workout. and then the next day I like won't be able to use my arms,
You'll
and
feel
then
that
it's
first
actually
of old.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And it will take me out of commission. Like I know, I remember one time it was like literally a week before I wasn't feeling it. And so I tend to overdo it because I struggle having a realistic view of where I am now.
Yeah.
Um, I've already done it once now as well. Because I've, like I said, I've been working on it for a little bit. And so I've been doing a lot of walking. And I was on, like, I had a stretch of uh, probably at least, well, we'll say at least 25 days where the minimum I walked was 1 mile.
Oh,
And
nice.
I had a stretch of 8 days where I did 3 miles every single day for those 8 days. And I just kept getting more and more exhausted. And I was like, it really took a minute for me to understand like why I was feeling that way, because I'm like, I'm just walking, like I should be able to do this. And the truth is that I was making it through each walk without a problem, but then the
But your
recovery.
body wasn't recovering.
Exactly. And then the next day I would go out, do my three well, I was technically doing two walks a day. I was doing a one
Yeah.
mile walk and a 2 mile walk every day. And I kept doing it, and also in the Texas heat,
Oh,
and humidity. We have a lot of humidity where I
yeah.
live.
That'll take you
And
right out.
yeah, and so it really took a toll. And I mean, I was on the brink of like literal exhaustion. I mean, I already
Yeah.
felt exhausted. And fortunately, I finally was like, you know what? I'm going to take a couple of days off. And it made just a world of difference. And so, again, I was like, yep, that's that thing that I do. I don't recognize where my fitness level is currently, and I don't make the appropriate adjustments. And I thought that I was, because again, I was only walking, like I really wasn't jogging or anything like that, but it was still too much. And I do think that it was mostly the heat that was getting to me.
Oh, yeah.
Um, but
But
yeah,
I think you really hit the nail on the head with like not recognizing and then finally recognizing. I think that when it comes to diet, exercise, lifestyle, all of the things, it's really like very important to like check in with yourself and know, okay, I can have some ice cream, but I don't need the whole thing. I'm satisfied after a serving or two servings, even because a serving is little. If we're being honest, or checking in and saying, okay, I've been walking my 1 to 3 miles a day. I'm exhausted. My body needs a break, and I think that that's going to be a huge pivot point in recognizing and then being able to like sustain it. Because if you completely neglect those feelings and get rid of all the ice cream and go really hard on the exercise, it's not sustainable and you're going to give up, you as in all of us. And I think it's once those things are recognized, which it sounds like you've done, it'll be a lot smoother and more sustainable to keep the 2 years and beyond.
yeah, that's the hope. That's the hope. But
Fingers
anyway,
crossed.
so those are the three O's that we don't have to wait for: old, overweight, and out of shape.
Love it. I mean, I don't love that. You know what
Yeah, I can appreciate what you mean by that.
I
Um,
mean?
okay, so in the future episodes, like I mentioned, we're going to highlight a female Olympian, and because I think that they deserve all the praise in the world, and I also think that we can maybe learn from them, or again draw motivation from them. I've noticed, for me personally, I tend to respond better to external motivators rather than just being okay with doing something for myself, which I need to work on, and I know that. But if I can take motivation from something like the fact that I'm, going to be attending the Olympics and draw motivation from those Olympians, then I'm going to do it because
Oh
I
yeah.
know that that's something that will work for me. Um, and we'll be kind of giving updates on where I am and where Savannah is, and the different things that we're doing. We hope that you all join us for this ride. Go on this journey with us. One of the things that we mentioned earlier is that the Olympics kind of creates a community. It brings people together. And that's what we're hoping to do here is to bring people together who, will help support us as we work on our health and fitness and, try to reach these goals. The Olympic motto, I think, kind of fits in with what we're trying to do. The motto is faster, higher, stronger, together. And so what I'm hoping is that we have folks that, chime in the comments, even if it's just to say, "Oh, hey, why don't you talk about my favorite Olympian?" But also let us know, was there something that you have done in the past that really helped with your fitness or helped you lose weight? Or hey, we'll take a smiley face or just a, like, go Savannah, go Alicia.
Love
But chime in and help us, and then
that.
maybe we can move faster, reach higher, be stronger together. And with that, I think we'll see you next time.
See you next time.